Hey guys, or welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new here, thank you for joining. It's another month has been and gone, which is pretty stressful. We're like nearly halfway through the year, and I feel like every person, every time a new month comes along, is like, oh my god, it's been another month. So it is time to pick my TBR for May. I've decided to switch it up though. So what I've done, I've picked 15 books that can be read as standalones off of my shelf, and we're going to use a random number generator to pick which books out of this stack I'm going to read for the month. The reason why I've picked standalones only is because my TBR jar has been picking out too many series and I haven't been able to keep up with it, and I have also just started a series, which, in case anybody was wondering, is the Hollow Boys series by Monty J. This is the first book, The Liars Always Steal, and I'm obsessed with it. I am literally 4 chapters in, and it is so good. You know when you just know you're gonna have a great time with a book that is just giving me everything I need from dark romance. I just love it. So I'm already starting a series. There's 5 books in this series. I'm a bit of a mood reader as well at the moment, which is kind of stressful and super annoying. I used to be really good at making a TBR and sticking to it, and I'm just not like that anymore. We're going to put 1 to 15 in a random number generator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them in their place to the end, because obviously they're going to be numbered 1 to 15, and then we'll take out the books at the end that I have picked. How many books should we pick? I keep picking out like 14 books, and a year ago, yeah, I was reading 14 books a month. Even 6 months ago, I was reading 14 books a month. And so I'm not reading that many books anymore. So I'm like, how many books should I pick? Let's go 6. Let's go 6, because these are standalones as well. So let's go 6 standalones, and I'm in the middle of a series which has got 5 books in it. So I think that's a good amount. So I'll put 1 to 15 in. Let's generate the first one. Okay, we've got number 8. I'm excited. Bad Boy Blues by Saffron A. Kent. I've only read 1 book by Saffron A. Kent, which was The Unrequited. Incredible. If you like teacher-student romance, you need to read it. The way she writes is so beautiful. Really liked the prose and everything. Obviously, I don't know whether that's just for that specific type of book, whether this series will be the same, but this is the first book in a series. I can't remember what it's called, but I got the other 4 in a recent haul that I did, and I've been kind of eyeing it up. I actually nearly picked it out for my 24-hour reading challenge, so I'm really glad that it's come up in this. So that's the first book. We've now got 5. Ooh, Hunt Me Darling by Marie Rose, which is actually a book that I haven't seen many people talking about at all. I don't know much about it apart from the fact that it is a dark stalker romance, and stalker is one of my favourite tropes when it's done right. I did recently read one which was a massive letdown, so maybe this will redeem the stalker trope in my eyes, because right now I'm not loving it. It peaked here with Zaid Meadows, and we never quite got back up there. 13, yes, Savage. Do you know, when I edit these back, I cringe at myself getting so excited at some of the books that get picked out, and I'm like, yes! But this is Savage Heart. Savage Heart is by Eva Ashwood. This is the last book in the Filthy Wicked Psycho series. I read this like a year ago, and at the time of reading it, Savage Hearts was about 3 weeks away from being released. Obsessed with that series, think about it all the time. The first book is Twisted Game, if anyone knows what that is. It's amazing for dark romance. And because this book wasn't out, I just ended up not reading it. And we're here, literally like over a year on, and I still haven't read the last book in the series, but I remember vividly everything that happened in the last 3 books, which is saying something. That's how good that series was, because I remembered I've read 100 books since then, quite literally read 100 books since then, if not more, and I still remember what went on in that series. So I think I might reread maybe the last chapter of book 3, but I'm really happy to get that out and finish it. It's not like me to not finish a series if it's not interconnected, because obviously with interconnected ones you can get away with, you know, not picking them up chronologically. With this one, it does follow a chronological order, and I can't believe I still haven't finished it. Can't wait to go back to that world. Okay, next one. How many have we picked? 3. Well, I just picked 13 again, so we can't do that. 11. 11 is Hawk by Jessie Hall, which I'm very excited to read as well. Partly because I actually want to read Kid way more than I want to read Hawk, but I've seen maybe 1 or 2 comments. I think it might have been on my TikTok or maybe on my YouTube channel of somebody saying they would recommend that I read Hawk first before reading Kid, and I still haven't read that, Sick Love, but I'm more intrigued by these 2, so yeah, I'm really excited about that. I wanted to pick up the Jessie Hall book for the best part of a year now and haven't got around to that yet, so the random number generator says you will be reading Jessie Hall this month. Probably still won't get around to it. 2. Do you know how many times I've put Ivy by Will and Ash, which is the pen name for Devney Perry, the only Devney Perry book I have on my shelves because I'm not into small town romance, but this is not small town romance. This is supposed to be like Pretty Little Liars, but in a book set in a university, which excites me. Great. Pretty Little Liars was one of the best shows ever. That show was insane. Nothing will ever reach the levels of Pretty Little Liars. It was incredible. It's meant to be giving that kind of vibe. I must have put this in a TBR, I want to say 6 times now. In fact, I think I had it in a TBR in January or February this year. I think it was February. Still haven't read it. I think I'm going to prioritise this after maybe I finish the Hollow Boy series and actually just read this book, because I want to read it so bad, but I just keep putting it off. Do you ever get that? Where I had it with Master of Salt and Bones. I've recently read that book, great book, where I had it in a TBR for the best part of the year, and I don't know what it was, but it was like I almost built up this thing in my head that because I'd had it on a TBR list for so long, I was like, I can't read it. I can't read it. Bookish maths, bookish girl maths. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, 11. I think we've already done 11. 10. Oh, Be Still My Heart. I don't even know why I threw this in there. I think I just saw it and I was like, I've been trying to read that one for a long time as well, and I haven't really got around to it. This is written by Emily McIntyre and Savon Miller, which are 2 authors that I really, really enjoy, but it's not their typical dark romances. I think this is a thriller, or is it a thriller? Thriller-esque? I don't know. I think it's set in like a coastal town. I'm not entirely sure. I like to go into books blind though, because I did that with The Fabric of Our Souls, and I gave it 5 stars. I had the best reading experience ever, so I'm happy about that actually. I think sometimes going into a book blind completely elevates your reading experience. 7. That's Until I Get You. That is a dark stalker hockey romance. We're bringing back the stalker trope again this month, apparently. Dark stalker hockey romance. This is, I think, between past and present as well, which I actually really enjoy. I know sometimes people find that a bit long, but I really like going between past and present tense because I think it builds up so much tension and anticipation. I'm like, I need to know where this story is going. You drip-fed information, which is one of my favourite things in a book to keep me reading and keep my concentration, because reading when you have ADHD is kind of interesting. You're either like hyper fixated on the book and you cannot put it down, or you turn the page and you're checking your phone again and then you're checking TikTok, and then you go back to the page and you're reading a paragraph, and then you want to cook dinner, and then you want to make a cup of tea, and then you sit back down and you read one sentence again. It can get very stressful. So I like that this has got past and present, because that is one of the things that hooks me and keeps me reading. Okay, last one. Make it a good one. I mean, they're all good, but make it a good one. 14. Oh, it's the second to last. Penelope Douglas. Tris Six Venom by Penelope Douglas. That is a bloody good one. I was so excited. Actually, I just read my first sapphic romance, which was Serpentine Valentine by Jana Darling, and absolutely loved it. Pretty dark, check your triggers if you decide to read it or it's on your TBR, but great book. The female empowerment / female rage in that book was amazing, and yeah, that was my first sapphic romance, and they're the only 2 that I have on my shelf as well, that and Tris Six Venom. I just know that Tris Six Venom is bully romance, isn't it? But actually that's one of my favourite tropes. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I just think it brings a whole nother layer to enemies to lovers, and it makes it great. As long as there's a valid reason for the bullying to be taking place, I just eat it up. So Tris Six Venom, that is a great lineup. Okay, so we've got Savage Hearts, Eva Ashwood, last book in a series. Just note that as well if you're thinking, oh, that book looks good or sounds good or whatever. This is actually the last book in the series. It starts with Twisted Game. Great series, highly recommend it. So I'm very excited. Then Tris Six Venom by Penelope Douglas, one of my top 3 favourite authors of all time. So I'm very happy to have this picked out. I actually think this is the only Penelope Douglas book I've got on my shelf. I actually haven't read Fool's Boys yet. This is the penultimate book of theirs that I haven't read yet. And then I'm running low on Penelope Douglas books, which gives me anxiety. Then Be Still My Heart by Emily McIntyre and Sav R. Miller. I don't know what it is about books set on an island, but I really, really like that. Does it hurt? Well, actually that was more like getting abandoned on an island in the middle of nowhere, getting shipwrecked, but aside from that, I love that setting in books. I think it makes everything really eerie and ominous. It was kind of the same in Master of Salt and Bones, and kind of similar in the Sinners Anonymous series, where they are like coastal towns. Really enjoy that. Then Hawk by Jessie Hall. I don't actually know a lot about this, apart from it's very, I think people who love it, and people who don't like it really don't like it. That probably means that I'm gonna like it, because I feel like half the time when that happens with a dark romance book, I become obsessed with it. Then Until I Get You, dark hockey stalker romance. To be fair, I've been eyeing this up for a while, but I just thought to myself, I don't know whether hockey romance is always at the top of my, you know, to-do list when it comes to reading. It's not like I don't like the trope, I just don't reach for it, and I think that's why I haven't reached for this yet, but this will make me pick it up. Although I did read The Pucking Wrong Number, which is also a dark hockey romance, and this book was so good. I can't remember if I gave it 4 or 4.5 stars, or maybe give it 4.25 stars. I don't know, but I really enjoyed it. This was so unhinged, so I think this should be good. I don't know too much about it as well, so I feel like I am going in a little bit blind. Then Bad Boy Blues by Saffron A. Kent. Really excited. I think this is set in an academic setting, that's all I know. Then Hunt Me Darling, which is by Marie Rose. This again, I think is a stalker romance. We've got a lot of stalker romances this month. Very coming into summer vibes, not. Oh, it says FBI Forensic Profiler. See, again, don't know anything about this book. I'm gonna go in blind because I think it's so much more fun that way. And then Ivy by Will and Ash. This, do you think that's giving Pretty Little Liars? I mean, the cover definitely isn't, but the book itself is supposed to be. This sounds really good. It's just, I think the reason why I get put off is because it feels like it's a really long book, but actually it's only like 4, well, I mean, it's nearly 500 pages. It's a long book. This is why I've been putting it off, because I think I have to really be in the mood to, if I'm mood reading, pick up a big, long, hefty book. I feel like if I'm in that mood where I don't really know what I want to read and stuff, I kind of always lean towards my shorter books because I just don't know what I'm feeling, and then I don't want to commit to something that's too long. It's just hard work reading sometimes, isn't it? That is the lineup this month's reading. Let me know if you would like to see my monthly wrap up for April. I think I only read like 6 books or 7 books. So I don't know if to do that, or should I combine April and May like I did with February and March. I think I did, because I feel like I've got more to talk about when I do it that way. So let me know in the comments below. Happy reading for May, and I'll see you in my next video.